Right, good morning, welcome back. Now if you're following the project, you'll know that we're currently in the business of stripping this bike to its bare skeleton, which hopefully, if I can, will be the engine, the frame and the running gear so that I can begin the surgery on the suspension. But every time I spend 3 or 4 hours taking parts off, it doesn't seem to get any less. It doesn't seem to reduce, but the pile of parts just keeps growing. A bit like when you dig a hole in the garden that's a foot square, you get 3 feet of soil out of it. That's pretty much how it's going at the moment. But that's mainly because everything on these Goldwings is so horrendously packed in, and you can't just rip it all out. You've got to take one thing off to get to another. You've got to investigate how it's all connected, carefully take it apart just in case I need it again in the future for the finished bike. But anyway, with all the work so far, we are now getting close. So I've got to take the carburetor block off today, and then the coils and the expansion bottle and various other heat shields underneath it. And hopefully, with today's effort, we can get this down to the bare engine, possibly even drain the coolant, take the radiators off as well. And then we are finally, hopefully, down to a skeleton. Let's see how we get on. That's it. There we go. Right, this here is a little vacuum valve assembly related to the cruise control, which we're definitely not keeping, and it's quite heavy. It's obviously got internal metal parts, so we'll stick that in the big pink tray, and with all that other stuff we'll have a weigh up at the end of today and add it to the total removed. There's this little fourth cable on the carbs, also part of the cruise control. Now there it is, a vacuum operated throttle cable for your cruise control. And it's actually bolted to the engine mount. Crazy. Big 14mm. Unbelievable, bolting one small component on a tiny little bracket onto the main engine mount shaft, which is no doubt torqued up and a critical fastener. Unbelievable. There, just to mount that, it weighs very little. I want to break it. That one screws in, unscrews now. To rescue this. Right, back in. We know where it is. There. Mince. Oh, don't mince. Please don't mince. Gotcha. Right, so glad that didn't mince out. If you chew out one of the screws that holds the carburetors down in their rubber inlets, you can't get anything in there to fix it. It's just down to butchering and levering and ripping, and that's horrible. I'm so glad that cracked free. Not disconnected yet. The hose I didn't see. do they build this thing? That's not even grabbing it now. Nope. That's it, this one. Right, that is a coolant hose that I just pulled off. It seems to go into a union that goes around the carburettor, so it sends warm coolant around the carburettors to prevent carb icing. And obviously now I've got the carbs off, the two inlet venturis are now open, and if I take the second one off, coolant comes up and goes down inside the inlet. Then I've got coolant potentially in the cylinders, so I'm going to drain the coolant before I go any further, leave that there before it starts pouring out. Now we've got our lovely new water pump. We can drain it far more easily through the drain hole.
She wakes up early Monday morning and drags her bones out of bed. Goes across to the mirror to see the image in her head. Oh, this town she lives in has got her back against the wall. Oh, this town she lives in has given her nothing at all. She walks down pavement strewn with memories and try and grasp at her feet. She just walks right on through them, hands in pockets buried deep. Oh, this town she lives in, seen the best and worst of her. Oh, this town she lives in has tried its best to keep her down. Buildings tell the same old stories. They long to see better days, but the faces switching through the curtains, they only long to see out today. Town we live in has gotten us all to change. Oh, this town we live in has made us look the other way. Oh, this town we live in
octopus. Right, believe it or not, another 4 hours to get to this point. And that's how long it takes when you're carefully dismantling things and when you're filming it at the same time. And there's a point. Some of the close-ups we've done today in and around the engine can take 20 minutes just to set up the shot. The camera needs a clear view with pin sharp focus, and the light is absolutely critical. It can't be overlit and bleached out, or if it's dingy and dark, you can't see what we're doing. At the same time, once all that's set up, I still need the room to get my hands in that tight little space and actually do the job we're filming. And if you make content yourself, you'll know those shots can be really challenging, but they're worth it because they make the difference between an average video and a great one. But it's more than worth it because we're committed to bringing you the most interesting and watchable content we can in return for the wonderful support that you give us. Anyway, next up, I want to strip out the braking system on the bike, which should be loads of fun because it's a linked system. There are hard pipes going everywhere, all over the bike, and it also operates the anti-dive on the forks. Should be loads of fun. I'll see you next time.